Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a wonderful show this evening. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. Thank you so very, very much. And ladies and gentlemen, there is something really wonderful about President Trump. And the really wonderful thing about Trump is the following. Let's just, before we get to that, let's make sure. All right, let's make sure that my computer, what takes place, ladies and gentlemen, is for some reason, I swear to God, even though I made sure that the updates for the computer don't take place during the live stream, for some reason, I swear to God, for some reason, every live stream lately, the computer is like updating and doing things, and I have no clue why. I have like zero clue why. But to my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams, and I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people. But let me know, Eric H526 and Luke St. Martin, the two best moderators in all of YouTube. Thank you, gentlemen. Let me know if people can hear, if the live stream's all right. This is Business Insider. This is why I love President Trump. Trump randomly agrees to an extra debate with Biden if Joe Rogan is the moderator. So he should, like, what President Trump should do is appear on Joe Rogan and have a debate with with a stand-in, because there's no way in the universe, there is absolutely no way in the universe that Biden is going to either debate Trump, definitely not with Joe Rogan. It'll be Hillary Clinton. If it's not Hillary Clinton, then somehow, some way. Video choppy. Oh, man. Gosh, I have no clue why this. I have no clue why this always happens. I swear I have no clue. Somehow, some way, President Trump should definitely take Joe Rogan up. I don't know if it was an invitation. I don't know if they were just speaking, if he was just like not serious and just pondering about the possibility of having a debate. But President Trump should definitely appear on Joe Rogan. He should discuss first of all, Biden's not going to be there, but this is why I love Trump. He is able to introduce something in a manner that no other politician can. Harry, thank you, Harry. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated, Harry. Thank you. Thank you. He's able to introduce a topic, and media then runs with it. And media says, "Oh my God, look what Trump is doing." So, Business Insider, Trump randomly agrees to an extra debate with Biden if Joe Rogan is the moderator. President Donald Trump appears to be in favor of an extracurricular debate against Joe Biden if the moderator is the podcast host and UFC commentator Joe Rogan. Trump tweets in favor of the notion Monday morning, despite the 2020 presidential debate moderators already being set, with the opening contest scheduled for September 29th. So, that's right, it was on Tim Kennedy's podcast. Okay, so it was on Tim Kennedy's podcast. See, that's the thing. The computer is fine. I have no clue why this happens. I swear to God, I have no clue why this happens. Ladies and gentlemen, stay there. I have no clue why this happens. And it randomly, there's not much. I'm not using this computer at all for anything but uploads, really, and live streams. So I have no clue why this is taking place. Gosh. All right, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just try to get through this. Let me restart the computer. I do apologize. Let me restart the computer. Let's see if I can just restart this and get it to work better. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the just stay where you are. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get this show on the road. I apologize. I know it's still not up and running, but let me know if you can hear this. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, let me know. Oh, my God. All right. I'm telling you what, if it's not the Putins... If it's not the Putins and the misogyny, it's the updates on my computer. This is unbelievable. Oh my God. Thank you so very much. I have such an amazing viewership. It's unbelievable. You are all absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, each and every one of you. God bless you. The fact that you would wait just to hear my annoying personality before going to bed, or if you're in another country before going about your day, thank you. Thank you. My God. Emily Cooper! Gentlemen, look up your AJ is like, yes. Yes, Emily, thank you. Harry, thank you. Kaylee, thank you. Personal recommendation. Get a computer without TD. My computer has HADs. HA derangement. Joey, hello. My God almighty. Emily Cooper. Well, let's get this show on the road, and I'm going to give you the best of HA Badman in the next hour and a half. My God, I'm going to give you everything I got. What can I tell you? Emily, thank you. Hidden for time. Are you ready? Are you ready to stick the landing? I don't know. I'm waiting in about 3 minutes. This thing's gonna do a Mission Impossible on me and melt. But Eric and Luke, thank you so very much. Hidden for time, thank you very much. Let's put it this way. I'm not going to open up any windows now, and I'll just go stream of consciousness mode. So Joe Rogan today was speaking with, or yesterday, he was speaking with Tim Kennedy, MMA fighter and Navy SEAL, and they were talking about a debate, I don't know exactly how it went down, but it was like, everyone is talking now about a 4-hour debate that President Trump, because he tweeted it out and he says, I accept a challenge. I accept the challenge. Harry, thank you. And this is why I love President Trump. Only Trump would accept the challenge of that was spoken about between two people who have, large followings. Well, Joe Rogan has like the largest following pretty much on the internet in terms of a podcast or YouTube channel. But Old School Dad Man, here's to your new computer. Thank you, Old School Dad Man. Thank you very much, Old School Dad Man. I got to get one soon. But here, ladies and gentlemen, is why I love President Trump. You have the issue of Biden's obvious, very frightening, very sad cognitive abilities. You have somebody who's losing his marbles. You have somebody who might be on, HGH or Anabol or whatever performance enhancements he needs. He's actually talking. President Trump has introduced the notion or the idea, or maybe people have talked about it, that Biden might be on the cognitive version of Viagra. And that says a lot. That says something. Democrats are in complete and utter denial. We know that Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton is the only chance they have. My article below in the Huffington Post, Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to take place. They can't possibly go with Joe Biden. They can't possibly. The man is not even really campaigning. This is a charade that everyone now can see. It's like pretty obvious. When I would do those segments and I would say, okay, Hillary is right, she's going to take it. I don't know when, but she's going to take it. I would say, well, you know what, Biden, he didn't even really have the cognitive issues about like 5, 6, 7 months ago, 8 months ago. He didn't really have, like, he had the issues like, oh my God, you know the deal, man, you know the deal. And then the leg hairs, the erect leg hairs. He didn't even, before you just thought, okay, he's talking about lotion on his erect leg hairs and he defeated cornflakes, and that's just how goofy he is. It's just how goofy he is. But you never said, okay, this man has major issues. You never said that until recently. And with President Trump saying, I'll go 4 hours with you. And this is, let me tell you something. Each challenge that takes place, because people are slowly realizing, and President Trump is able to introduce ideas in a manner that you and I would, or maybe a YouTuber or a person who has a podcast, he's able to introduce ideas in a manner that normal, everyday people can understand, can grasp. He doesn't need 50 consultants, 50 strategists, public relations firms. Like, he has 0 public relations firms. He has 0 media support. Could you imagine if Biden were treated in the manner that Trump is treated? Could you imagine? Every single absurd gaffe would be on continual loop. I mean, could you imagine? You have to go to like GOP War Room or like, conservative voices on Twitter. That's not a name. That's not a profile. Actually, it's like conservatives on Twitter. You have to actually really search. You have to really, really search. He said 100 years, the pandemic cost 100 years. He wants the cure to be worse than the problem. He meanders off into Never Never Land. It's like he's suffering. The poor man is suffering as he speaks, as he communicates. And you got to ask yourself, at what point do Democrats say enough is enough? Because this is not, you can have every single day polls coming out, Biden up 14. Nobody believes it. The Democrats believe it because they worship polls. They'll believe any authority that, or anything or anyone that bolsters their viewpoint that Trump is like the spawn of Satan. So it doesn't even, like I always say, if you had an alligator and you put this alligator right next to President Trump, on a graphic, and, there's this alligator, and you're holding the alligator with a big giant leash, and you put a top hat on the alligator with a big bow tie on its big fat neck, and you say, new ABC Washington Post poll, alligator outperforms Trump in swing states by 5 points. Alligator up 10 points nationally. They would believe it. They would believe it. Exactly, Sam. He should do Joe Rogan regardless. But Democrats don't even need a candidate now. That's when Madam Secretary will swoop down. Remember that story? I was at my uncle's house, and there was a nice little bunny rabbit, and it was like 4th of July, and he lives in the mountains in California. And little bunny rabbit came hopping into like the garden. Hey, little bunny rabbit. Nice little bunny rabbit. And I was looking at the bunny rabbit, and I was eating like a hot dog. And out of nowhere, this falcon comes down, swoops down, grabs it with its long, giant talons, and flies off with the little beautiful bunny rabbit. And I was like, ah! And it was like Wild Kingdom right there, right in front of you. And the bunny rabbit is Biden. The falcon is Madam Secretary. Emily Cooper! I'd like H.A. to interview. Yes, Emily Cooper, hello. Emily Cooper, thank you. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. Shannon Russell, Dr. Shannon Russell. Rogan should host the debate behind the high school bleachers so Trump could whip him emotionally and physically. Well, that's what Biden keeps saying. Biden's like, you know what? He keeps talking, Dr. Russell, he keeps talking like Biden is always like, if I can meet you outside class at 4 o'clock. Emily Cooper, thank you. Thank you, Emily. Very kind of you. Very kind of you, Emily. Dr. Russell, he's always kind of this like goofy. He did this also. This was actually like years back. Biden did this. They were doing this hearing on steroids. And then he did this thing where like this shtick, this act where he was like, these are the type of people that I'd want to kick. These are the type of people that I'd really be upset with. Like he's always trying to fabricate this emotion that he just can't control because he's such a passionate person. He's such a passionate person. Like, that's the thing. Lately, for the past, 3 months, he's been saying things. Emily, thank you. Dr. Russell, thank you. He's been saying things that make no sense, and then he catches himself, and you're the problem. Do you understand? So he's like, gosh, the pandemic has cost 100. It's just really bad. And it's like, no one believes this. Nobody believes. That's why I'm telling you, we're going 8 years, people, and not with Biden, with Clinton, with the Loch Ness Monster, with, whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, with cheating, without cheating, mail-in ballots, no mail-in ballots. We're not going to find out to the 4th, 5th, and 6th. with the protest, no protest, it doesn't matter. He's going 8 years. The only people passionate enough to get up early in the morning are Trump supporters. That's what I'm saying. You got to get up. Everybody here God bless you, waited. Oh, we got Corn Pop here. Yes, come on, man. You got to get up early on November 3rd, and you have to, wait in line early. Get there a half an hour early. Get there. President Trump should tell people, a day or 2 days before, get there a half an hour early. This is a rock concert, the biggest rock concert of your life. Jimbo! I'm not surprised by Joe's decline. More corruption allegations to face from when he was VP. Exactly. Well, also, he's playing ball for a reason, Jimbo. He's playing ball for a reason. You got to ask yourself, well, why is Joe Biden playing ball? Why is he just waiting until Madam Secretary swoops down? That dorsal fin ain't flipper. That's Madam Secretary. So Clinton is going to be there eventually. Clinton is going to be there. There's no way, whether it's after the debates, before the debates, I don't care. 2 weeks before because the thing is, the Politico article stated categorically, it doesn't matter when a nominee is replaced with a new nominee. Dr. Russell, the more you Joe, come on, man. Come on, man. Jimbo, thank you. Mark Skog, look at your loved ones like Biden looks at Z. Happy lifestyles. Mark Skog. Yeah, he really, there's so many. This is the thing. If let's assume Mark and Dr. Russell and Jimbo, let's assume for a second. Let's just assume for a second that I'm wrong, but I'll still be right about the 8 years President Trump. President Trump's going 8 years. Fantastic. Be here November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and all throughout November. It's going to be euphoric. And the new line is, you lost twice. You lost twice. I already got it ready. Trump is the man. You lost twice. Later. You lost twice. That's it. You don't have to say, you know what? You don't have to say anything. You don't even have to say anything. If somebody calls, I just want to let you lost twice. Bye. Click. But let's just assume for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark and everybody here. Let's assume for a second that Biden had such a strong grip. His skeleton-like hands clasped around, just gripping and holding the mantle, like he actually is faking it. And when he's like, "How's about corn pop? Come on, man, you know the deal." I said, if let's say he's faking it. And he is just he has such a grip on power. He has such a hold on the future of the Democratic Party. This is his time. He's worked his whole life for this, and he's not campaigning for a reason. He's not actually answering questions from the press for a strategic reason. And he has said, "Finally, I vanquished the Clintons. Finally, I can take over the Democratic Party and be the president that I've always wanted to be." What do you think the Clintons would do, or Madam Secretary? Do you think Madam Secretary cares about the nomination process? They cheated Bernie Sanders. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in disgrace. Why? Why? Why did they cheat Bernie Sanders? Did Biden purchase the dossier? No. If you're swimming in the ocean and you have a spear, one of those like spears that you can spearfish, a spear you could use to go fishing, to spear fish. Do you think you're at an advantage over a great white shark? Do you think that if you have a spear that you could fight away a great white shark maybe for a second? Maybe you could kind of try your best, and maybe if you hit it in the gills, maybe it'll swim off. Maybe? What are the chances? Politics is not Biden's domain. Biden he has lasted this long because he's this amiable, golly gee shucks, this amiable person, and he has drive, but he's not a cutthroat politician. Okay, Madam Secretary, let's assume that Biden really wants to be president, and he has the nomination. It takes less than a week to dismantle everything. We already know from the campaign emails there are friendly journalists. It takes one or two articles in the Washington Post and the New York Times. We need a new nominee. What? We need a new nominee? No, we need a new nominee. Okay? It takes one person in Biden's campaign that worked for Madam Secretary or had ties to the Clintons or has ties to donors or whatever. To whatever. It takes one hit piece, one article. One or two or three celebrities saying, we really need a change. We need Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. We need two women. It's the 19th Amendment. We need two women. It doesn't take that much. That's what I'm trying to say. It takes 3 or 4 days. They don't care. They don't care. You think people are really voting for Biden? They're not voting for Biden. They're not voting for Biden. They're voting for not Trump and not Bernie Sanders. First, they're voting for not Bernie Sanders. Then they're voting for not Trump. So this whole thing is a giant charade. And you know that Biden can't last more than 20 minutes. He had an acceptance speech that was 20 minutes. Okay? Usually, President Trump went well over an hour? Exactly, Todd. Well over an hour? You have President Trump well over an hour. You have Clinton in 2016 well over an hour. Okay? But now Biden gets to just absorb all the slings and the arrows. He gets to absorb all the slings and arrows. Clinton has, now is really playing it up. And you look at history, when is there a time when somebody says, "Hey, Al Capone, do you mind if I become top boss now? Is that cool? Is that okay?" We voted on it. Everyone voted on it. And we decided that I'm going to be the new boss. We're going to be. Does that happen? When does this ever happen? So you have a political machine, ladies and gentlemen, a political machine that Jimbo. I think the Dems already lost. Dems almost ready for a substitute. Exactly. I mean, you look, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be the biggest political call of all time. I was actually going to try and type in Joe Biden. I put Jimbo. Let me see if I put Jimbo here. What do I get? Oh, that's awesome. Joe Biden. Oh my God. Netflix star under oh my God. Netflix star under FBI investigation for soliciting from minors, previously held Instagram session with Biden. Oh my God. And figures. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so like it's so like understandable. Harry, thank you. Oh my God. This is so like par for the course. This is so like just total Democrat. It's such a Democrat thing to do. Netflix star under FBI investigation. Oh my God. For soliciting. Oh my. Previously held Instagram session with Biden. Oh my God. Wow. Here we go. Trump jumps on offer to have Joe Rogan moderate debate with Joe Biden. That's awesome. Work like the devil. Biden visiting Florida to woo Latinos. Oh my God. Do they even believe this is news? Jacksonville. NBC4. Do they even believe this? To woo Latinos? What does that even mean? Now you're starting with the largest non-white demographic? Now? Madam Secretary, Clinton campaign. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It's pretty unbelievable. So, if you can't win Florida, you ain't winning the election. You need to win Florida. You need to win Florida. If you cannot win 29 electoral college votes, you're not going to win the presidency. Biden does worse among black and Latino voters than Clinton. Clinton does better. So who are they fooling? Who are they fooling? He's going to woo Latinos. What, with his charm? With his leg hairs? What is he going to do to woo anyone? Hey, come on now. Leg hairs erect. Yeah. Joe Biden is making his first trip to Florida while his campaign acknowledging concerns about his appeal with Latinos. While his campaign is this is also not possible. AOC endorsing Bernie is not possible for the Democratic Party. They cheated him 4 years ago, and they blamed Russia for letting us know. It is not possible for the campaign to acknowledge that he stinks in Florida, that Biden is so horrible of a candidate that the most important Democratic blacks and Latinos are the most important demographics. You cannot win as a Democrat without black voters and Latino voters and Hispanic voters. You cannot win. So, while his campaign is acknowledging concerns, that's impossible. They would never acknowledge any concerns. To the contrary, they would say, we're doing great. What are you talking about? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. They are going to wait till the last second. I swear to God, I think it's a personal thing. I think they're like, look, H.A. Badman, he wrote all those articles. He wrote articles in the Hill, the Huffington Post, and the Salon that went viral. Oh, my God. We're going to wait. We're not going to let him do the victory lap. We're just going to wait until the last second. I mean, if you're trying to woo voters 2 months before, it ain't going to work. In less than 2 months. While his campaign is acknowledging concerns about his appeals with Latinos. A voting bloc likely to prove pivotal against President Donald Trump in one of the nation's fiercest battleground states. The visit comes as some Democrats worry that Biden's standing among Hispanics is slipping in a state where they make up 1/5 of eligible voters. So this makes no sense. Biden faces worries that Latino support slipping in Florida. Okay, can I tell you something? I will have made the biggest political call of all time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. It's just slowly but surely. And everyone on this chat and everyone here, you are all absolutely wonderful. I have the best viewers. I literally have the best viewers in all of YouTube. I do. I mean, I don't know many people that have a viewership that will wait for like 25 minutes while a computer is getting... I mean, I guess there's some, but I'm just very lucky. Very, 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 very lucky to have everybody here. Thank you. But, I mean, it's kind of like this is an Associated Press. I didn't see this article, see? I've read all the articles regarding this. This is a new one from yesterday. I'm telling you, it's happening slowly, but just like molasses. Miami, Senator Kamala Harris's motorcade raced past Colombian neighborhoods and made a quick stop for a tour in Doral. Because large Venezuelan population. You truly are the future of our country, Harris said in a megaphone. After the motorcade pulled up Florida Memorial University. Okay. New York billionaire Michael Bloomberg committed over the weekend to spend at least $100 million in Florida. So what? It's not gonna matter. They outspent Trump 53-1. It still didn't work in Florida. And people like pretty much have made up their minds. It doesn't matter like if they switch with Clinton. This election is Trump or not Trump. They could run with an alligator or Biden or Madam Secretary, which will eventually happen. Democrats don't have a political party. They have a political machine. That's it, a political machine. But his campaign would never acknowledge the fact that they're acknowledging that they have problems with Latino voters is almost telegraphing that eventually they're gonna pass the baton to Madam Secretary. So there's zero appeal with Senator Harris because Senator Harris did not even get to Iowa. She did not even have enough support to get to Iowa. Then you ask yourself, well, what kind of advantage does Biden have? You know, Jimbo, I saw any highlights from the Harris HRC fundraiser. I saw it, and it was like they were having a good time. There were the two actresses there, or two comedians. It was not really like... It's interesting. It's like... Let's see. Hold on. You can't even find it on Biden's channel. It's actually on like this one channel here. So, but then you have, this is something I noticed. I mean, now it's like, oh my God, he's looking at crop circles and cloud formations. But like Kamala Harris the backdrop is Biden-Harris. Not Biden-Harris 2020, Biden-Harris for president. And it says text ready to like, a bunch of numbers. And it's just like, he doesn't, you don't get the sense, you just do not get the sense that this is really happening. And then you have Hillary Clinton, I'm looking, she's like just too happy about everything. She's just too happy about everything. This is like you're not talking about the personality to just give up. Neither Clinton have the personality traits to just give up and pass the baton to Tales from the Crypt. Like, this is very realistic. Senator Harris could become the first female president. Okay? And I don't think Clinton is just going to allow any other woman to become president when the Russians stole it from her. So I'm looking, right, she's way too happy. Oh my God, she's way too happy. Oh my, she's enjoying this. Oh, no. Something's about to happen. Oh my God. It's like, no, this is a pet great white shark. It's my pet. It's my pet great white shark. No, it's friendly. Friendly, very happy. Very happy as I swim next to its jaws. Very, very happy. Very happy. Yes. Pet great white shark. Very happy. No problem. Oh, I love that. I'm actually happy for her. God bless her. She's enjoying it. Yeah. I'm looking at this right now. I love the Biden-Harris background for Senator Harris. No 2020. No 2020. No 2020. No message of 2020. And this is Senator Harris every 2 seconds. It's just always laughing hysterically. Why? About what? Things aren't that happy and cheerful. What are you laughing about? What is so funny? All the time? Biden isn't funny. And you get these commercials with like Biden. What is so funny? There's nothing funny about Biden. Nothing. He doesn't say anything funny. He says nothing funny. And like I don't get it. It's just always the same. And they do too. Like the other day, like Biden says, "Just look at us, man." He speaks. He's like wheezing and suffering and like, trying his best. And like Jake Tapper, like, for a moment played journalist. He's like, so there have been questions from Trump about your cognitive abilities. Just look at us, man. Look at us, man. Yeah, we're looking at you. You look like, God forbid, you survived something horrible. I mean, I don't want to be mean. He looks like an exhumed body. Like if you had a zombie that was running for president, that would be Biden. Biden looks like a zombie that's running for president. Like a zombie, like an exhumed zombie. Like a zombie that, like, from like Thriller, the, Michael Jackson's Thriller, like the zombies come out. Or, any of the zombie movies, whatever. He looks like an exhumed body. Like, it's very bizarre. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Jimbo! Maybe That would be interesting to see how a person would react. Probably because it's Joe Biden. They'd be like, oh, Joe. Joe. They wouldn't say anything, Jimbo. Miller, chill more. Trump is already looking so strong. We still have another month and a half of decreasing. Exactly. An increasing economy. Exactly. And Miller Chillmore, what they're doing also, and this is kind of funny, ladies and gentlemen. Trump says something like, yeah, I think I need a third term because the first term, I wasn't even treated fairly. They believe it. Do you understand? They believe it. They believe that he really wants a third term. It is their worst nightmare. Do you understand? It is their worst nightmare. Do you understand? It is their worst nightmare. They really and like he trolls them. I love the fact. See, it was like Friedman at the New York Times. He was like, oh, yeah, it's the politics of humiliation. The Trump supporters, they don't like Trump. How could anyone like Trump? But they like the fact that he goes after the people they don't like. It's like, no, that's a cherry on top. That's an added bonus. Exactly. Inverted Earth. They're like completely delusional. They're so frightened and petrified. And I'm telling you, like, Hillary is the heavy artillery. Miller Chillmore, thank you. And they don't understand that, like, peace between Israel and the UAE, Serbia and Kosovo, the beginning of détente between North Korea and South Korea. We had record low unemployment. He signed the First Step Act. He's removing Americans from Iraq, from Afghanistan, removed Americans from Syria. So it's like he ended the war in Afghanistan. So like I'm getting everything I wanted from Bernie Sanders in 2016 with President Trump. And if I can go back in time, I would just write about Trump. Really, I would. Stewart Caldwell, Madam Secretary, and Hyde and Joe both have room to store spare. Well, Madam Secretary, she's pretty. She's a lot more intelligent than Biden at this point. It's interesting, Stewart. The charade. I'm just looking at this every day, not just because I made this prediction or whatever. Because at the end of the day, part of my prediction is Trump going 8 years, which is fantastic. But I just I'm looking and I'm like, what? How does anyone believe this? And a couple of tells, like in poker, there's tells. You cannot, Stewart and everybody here, you cannot have AOC endorsing Bernie. It's not possible. They would never let that happen. It would be impossible. Do you understand? Impossible. It is impossible for that to happen without some kind of shenanigans, something up their sleeve. It is impossible. It is not possible for that to happen. It is impossible. It is impossible. They don't have that. They don't allow that to take place. They don't allow that to take place. It's not like, and I did a segment, my last segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel until I start revving that up. AOC endorses Bernie Sanders at Democratic National Convention. AOC delivers highly anticipated 90-second speech. This is hilarious. The Independent. They're condescending. They don't even realize it. AOC delivers a highly anticipated 3-second speech. Oh, so highly anticipated, you have no idea. Everybody was just, goosebumps and on pins and needles for the 90 seconds. 90 seconds of amazing Bernie endorsement. AOC delivers highly anticipated 90-second 90-second speech. Oh my God, this is so... It is not possible. It is impossible. And when I'm waiting, it'll be a very special moment. Very special for me when AOC endorses Hillary Clinton. It'll come full circle. And when Bernie, I just want to say I'm endorsing Hillary again. And I'm going to endorse her in 2024, 2028, 2032, 2036, 2040, 2044, 2048, 2052, 2056, 2060, 2064, 2068. And so on and so forth, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. Oh, my God. It's not possible. Do you understand? AOC endorses Bernie Sanders at Democratic National Convention 4 years after they cheated Bernie Sanders and blamed Russia for the past 4 years. Oh, my gosh. Elizabeth Warren, thank you again for backstabbing me. They're smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Jimbo! Trump promised to put the first woman on the moon. Do you think he has anyone in mind? I don't know. Jimbo, I know that they want to, I know that they want to, send Trump into outer space with, in some kind of space module. Jimbo, thank you. Highly anticipated 90 seconds of pure adrenaline. That was 90 seconds of exhilaration and Bernie love. That was a wonderful 90 seconds. Thank you. I am now endorsed. I can be, I will just remember this moment, all 90 seconds of it. Thank you. I don't know how it's going to happen. I swear to God, I just have no clue. I have no clue. It's like I have no clue how it's going to go down, but it's going down. We don't know how, but it's going down. Don't know how. Let's see here. There's some other good stuff today. Let's see. So President Trump is like, this is like so typical of Democrats. So they're the ones experiencing, like in California, we're experiencing this. Like all these horrible things are presiding in Democratic-run states. And all they can say, whether it's protests or wildfires or the pandemic, all they go, Trump, you're fanning, the heat. And then literally, like, things are just, falling apart. This is good. Trump cheers judge's ruling overturning Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah. That's going to help President Trump get Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if he'll win Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure he's going to win Minnesota. I'm actually more confident about Minnesota than Pennsylvania. Because the governor is like, we're not going to find out the election results until the 5th or 6th. Why are you so happy about that? That's what I'd like to know. This is unbelievable. North Carolina County erroneously notifies 6,700 people that they've tested positive for the pandemic. It was a glitch. Aria Lee. Can you do a Slick Willie or Bernie versus Mitch? You rock HA. You've given my wife and I a lot of heartache, Bernie. Don't worry about it, Bill. I just want to tell you, can you please just leave the Democrats alone and never come back, okay? We've used you for about 4 years now. And run along to the Green Party, okay? It's been fun. Aria, thank you. Larry Whitaker, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Very, very, very much. Must overwhelm the system to overcome the big cheat in the works. It is in the works. But Larry, they have to get close. That's the thing. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Aria, and thank you, Larry. Support the control of House and Senate, or the presidential office will be hamstrung. Exactly. Great points, Larry, and thank you very much for your generosity always, Larry. Greatly appreciated. You're right. You gotta vote down ticket. You gotta vote Republican across the board. You gotta vote Republican across the board because what they've done is the following. They've utilized Bernie Sanders to pretend they stand for left-leaning causes when they don't. And it's like, why would you vote Democrat at this point? You look at what they've done for the past 4 years. Only hyperbole. It's like you look at Larry, you look at what Democrats stand for, and it's like they don't really stand for anything at all other than they don't like Trump. Then they call President Trump, the reincarnation of 1930s and 1940s Germans. And it's like they're the ones who, if you want to make a correlation, they're far closer to that than Trump is. Sorry, you can't call President Trump a vicious despot and demagogue if he signs prison reform legislation and removes soldiers from never-ending conflict. See, despots increase military involvement, and despots blame other countries like Russia, and despots put more people in incarceration. So it's like Larry, it's like they only can live in hyperbole and conjecture and hysteria, and they can only be apoplectic because they're losing their grasp. It's like it's like in The Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch is like melting. I'm melting. Larry, thank you again as always, Larry. Thank you. Larry Whitaker, thank you as always for your support. But you can't run a political party with a message that says we just don't like the other candidate, the opposing rival. That's it. Stuart Caldwell. I hereby certify 2020 as the election to purge old Dem congressional geezers. Exactly. Who's with me? I'm with you. Stuart, I'm with you. Thank you, Stuart. It's like I don't really... Democrats don't focus on economic growth, but then they complain about the economy, and then they kick out 100,000 direct and indirect jobs from New York. Then they say, well, we need more stimulus checks, which I'm not against, but like maybe you should try opening up the economies of your states. Blue states have the most lives lost from the pandemic, the highest unemployment rates, and the most property damage. And then they say, well, this is Trump's America. It's like, well, Trump doesn't run Oregon or New York. I hate to tell you. These are like blue states. Yeah, so President Trump does not run Minnesota or Oregon or Washington or California or New York. Yeah. I know it's a big shock to Democrats. It's Biden's America, or I should say, Madam Secretary's America. J-Man, TDS people lost forever, one fry short of a Happy Meal. They will be lost forever November 3rd. J-Man, they're still holding, like Larry and J-Man, everybody here, Stewart. They still have... See, it's not fun to lose Larry and J-Man and Stewart and everybody here. And Larry, thank you again, as always, for your generosity. It's not... And you too, Stewart, thank you. And J-Man, thank you. It's not fun, ladies and gentlemen, to lose to your rival. Okay? Auburn, Alabama, SC, UCLA... Miami, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas. You don't want to be on the losing end. You know, Washington State, Oregon State, Oklahoma State. Well, I think it's Oklahoma, Texas is like the big rivalry. But you don't want to be Mad Cow Mark. Thanks, Larry Whitaker. Yes, Mad Cow Mark. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. You don't want to be. You don't want to lose, Mad Cow Mark and Larry. You don't want to lose to your rival. You don't want to lose to your crosstown rival or your neighboring state. Your cross-state rival. You just don't want to lose to your rival because you're going to hear about it every day, or you're going to hear about it all the time. Mad Comar, thank you. It does not feel good to lose to your rival. It doesn't feel good at all. And especially when they have convinced themselves that Trump is like Satan's spawn. So when they lose again, their entire reality is going to just come crashing down. Like they won't know what to do. They won't know how to deal with it. They could lash out. They could be even more illogical and irrational and annoying and arrogant than usual. Who knows? The Democrats that possess some level of modicum of wisdom will then say, okay, we have to regroup. We have to rebuild. And what they're going to do is they're going to blame the progressives. The I'm with her liberals are going to blame the progressives. The progressives are going to blame the I'm with her crowd. But the progressives are relatively small. They think they run. It's funny. I used to be on the left and I used to think of myself as a progressive, but I guess I wasn't because I want American soldiers home, which is like not even. They have zero concept or concern regarding that issue. I want Americans home from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, and President Trump has done a great deal in reversing U.S. foreign policy. He's paved the way to end our involvement in these never-ending conflicts. That's the biggest thing we face. It's bigger than climate change. Much bigger. Much more important. Much more important. It's the whole planet. It's the whole planet. I've actually had somebody tell me, "Oh, this is the whole planet." Well, this, you volunteer, and it's like, what? Our foreign policy immediately affects the lives of Americans, families, sons and daughters, husbands and wives who have loved ones overseas. Immediately affects the lives of our soldiers. Immediately affects the lives of people in other countries. Immediately affects the planet. Immediately. That day, that week, that month, that year. Our threats today evolved because of Bush's decision 19 years ago. Decisions. The biggest threats we face on the planet today are because of President Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld and the wonderful Lincoln Project people. President Obama, it wasn't his fault. The organization that I can't talk about that's sprouted out from the other organization that I can't talk about on YouTube. It wasn't President Obama's fault. It just wasn't. It wasn't. That was the fault of Bush. General D. People ask me, well, why does a non-American support Trump? Every time I visit the gas station, I praise him. Plus, his policies work for normal people. General D. He's definitely he definitely gives the middle finger to the media narrative across the country. Or, I'm sorry, across the world. The kind of media spin. General D, thank you. Mad Cow Mark, thank you very much. My pleasure, H.A. Thank you very much, Mad Cow Mark. My Australian crew is strong. Mad Cow Mark, thank you. Larry, thank you as always. Must overwhelm the system to overcome big cheat. It's the only thing I'll say, Larry, is they got to get close. They ain't getting close with Biden. That ain't happening. Madam Secretary, yeah, they can get close. And that'll happen. It could be close. At the end of the day, though, it's funny. The loudest people are on the left, but see, the conservatives and Republicans and Trump supporters, they haven't been loud. So it's been a one-way street in terms of outrage. Mad Cow Mark, thank you very, very, very much. Aussie woman, this Aussie loves your president. Thank you, Aussie woman. Thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. In Australia, greatly, greatly appreciated. I think that Aussie Woman and Mad Cow Mark and Larry, be here, Aussie Woman and Mad Cow Mark, Larry, and everybody here. Be here November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. All I got to tell you is that they're not going to go with Biden, and it's going to be Hillary. But if they go with Biden, I'm not even going to worry. There's no zero support for Biden. And he has less support among black and Latino voters than Clinton. Less. Trump is doing better. So how on earth can he possibly get close enough to cheat? That's an issue. That's a big issue. They have to get close enough to cheat. That's what they're going for. Paul Bartlett, hello, Paul. Hello, Paul. I hope all is well. Thank you always for your kind words, Paul Bartlett. Always your kind words, greatly appreciated. Very, very nice of you. Thank you. Means a lot to me. Aussie woman, thank you very, very much. Very kind of you. Mad Cow Mark, Larry Whitaker. Come on, man. And then he goes like this, like Jake Tapper's like, so there's been talk about your cognitive abilities, and he's like, just look at us, man. Oh my God. He looks like a zombie that's running for president. An exhumed body, an exhumed zombie. And it's like, I feel so bad. I feel so bad that like, is it broken? Oh Lord. Is there something going on with the, did the stream freeze? Oh, okay, a blip, okay. Let's look at here. Ladies and gentlemen, you've all been so wonderful, and I just thank you for staying. Now I'm kind of like losing steam a little bit, but, all right, let's see here. I want to see what's going on with, all right. So this is interesting. The grassroots fundraiser featuring Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris and Amy Poehler and Maya Rudolph has raised more than $6 million from 100,000 people, Clinton says. Jeez. Kamala Harris calls Hillary Clinton just absolutely extraordinary and says she has always been a model of what it means to have leadership in our country. Yes, typing emails, very good. Good leadership with private servers and voting to destroy Libya. Good leadership. Very good. You can't get better. You can't get better. You can't get better. Do you understand? You can't get better. Not since the captain of the Titanic could you get even better than Madam Secretary. She's the best. Believe me, I'm the biggest fan on the internet. I'm like the biggest fan. Trust me. So, you have, you have this charade that's like, it's all Clinton donors. Breaking barriers involves breaking things, and sometimes when you break things, you get cut and it's painful. Oh, that's sad. Clinton on Trump. He has no sense of humor, and it struck me. I've never seen him laugh. What? He's the best sense of humor. Trump has the best sense of humor. I've never seen him laugh. I've seen him laugh, number one, but he's not like, like with Kamala Harris, like every 2 seconds. It's like, yeah, because he doesn't care about pandering to people. Ranger partners. Marianne Chandler voted. That's right. The best is when Marianne Williamson talks about like Trump's spiritual energy. That's the best. Or like she mentioned something about Trump. I'm like, what kind of vibes are you getting from the Democrats? She kind of touches on like, this is the way you're going to lose, but it's never like the unmitigated sinister vibrations. You just for some reason can't feel. Oh gosh, I'm pretty in tune with the universe, but I just can't sensory, my spiritual sensory feelers can't feel the unmitigated, sinister, nefarious evil from the Democrats. I just can't do it. I can't feel Trump for sure. I can feel it very bad, very bad. I can feel the sinister, nefarious from very bad from Trump, but I can't feel anything from Democrats. Why is that? Aussie woman, thank you again, Aussie woman. Thank you so very, very much. Don't you love when when they talk about, I love hearing them talk about Trump now because it's just so devoid of any logic or reason or rational thought. It's like, just unbelievable. It is unbelievable. You look at try to look at Biden's face. Like next time you see him on TV, tell me if he reminds you of Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. Stuart, Matt Kalmark, thank you again, Larry. Thank you, Stuart. After his last term, the Trump show will break records in Vegas. Seriously. There has to be like a sitcom. You know, Roseanne had a wonderful, wonderful sitcom that was like, gave the other side, which is like the president. You think that like the president, like she showed Trump supporters in a positive light for once in human history. And the man is president. I've been told from people, and God bless Roseanne, she's fantastic. Roseanne Barr is fantastic. Subscribe to her channel. She's awesome. Absolutely awesome. A comedy icon. You could take every single one of those celebrities on Twitter, like the 80s and 90s celebrities that are not really celebrities, but you just kind of remember them when there was no internet, so they were very popular, so you still remember them. But Roseanne is an icon. That show that she had, and her other work as well, but the Roseanne show that she had, that's an iconic show. She's like legendary. That's like, she's up there with Lucille Ball. That's like a huge... Everyone forever will remember what Roseanne Barr has achieved and accomplished in Hollywood. No one is going to care what the average Twitter, like, yeah, okay, you had a good, true. I love True Romance. Great movie. Okay. You could look at like a couple things here and there. These people, it's like they don't really like. Hollywood is like, oh, look, you have to listen to us because we're famous. It's like, no, you're not really. There's no fame anymore. There's no point to being famous anymore. Robert Downey Jr. was talking about that with Joe Rogan. It's kind of true. There's no point to it at all. But like, you look at people like who don't need Hollywood at all, because their legacy will last like long beyond. Stuart, she's amazing. Yes, Stuart Caldwell, thank you. Exactly. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Stuart, my God, for your generosity always. Thank you. For your generosity always, Stuart. Thank you. Matt Kalmark, yeah, awesome. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you. You look at the people who don't need Hollywood or music industry or the music, like, you have Roseanne Barr, you have Kanye West, you have a bunch of other actors that just have done so much. James Woods, the people who don't need Hollywood are free to think like for themselves. John Voight. Are you talking about people like the Trump supporters in Hollywood are very successful. Very successful. Like, they just give the middle finger because they've been like, you know what? I was famous in the 80s or 90s. And I'm talking about really famous, like really successful. Not just, oh, you had a good part in a show for a while or whatever. Like you ran the show, like it was your show. Like Roseanne, that show is her like show. That's her name. If you were successful in Hollywood before the internet, you are going to be remembered forever. Like I mean, successful in that you were an icon or legendary, or like you did something truly special. Not just, you had a couple movies or whatever. Like, okay, Robert De Niro, I can't hate on him. Even though he's like a complete imbecile. Yeah, he's amazing in terms of an actor. As an actor, he's amazing. As a person who talks, as a political pundit, he's a complete buffoon. Great actor. Doesn't know what he's talking about, just like all of Hollywood. Why don't they talk about record low unemployment? Stephen King also. Here's one of the great American authors. And he was like, help me find out why Trump is tied in Florida. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. We had record low unemployment before the pandemic. We had record low Black and Latino unemployment before the pandemic. Nobody cared on the left. They were even calling for a recession. All the states with the highest number, the greatest number of lives lost are run by Democrats. Florida has a fraction of the number of lives lost as New York or New Jersey. Then you have, he's reversing American foreign policy. So Stephen King writes about horror, but apparently he can't get out of the world that he's lived in for so long to see the horror of Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld's foreign policy and President Obama's foreign policy in Libya and throughout the world, or throughout that region. And so President Trump is removing American soldiers from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. But you can't expect Stephen King to care. You can't expect De Niro to care. They don't care. They live in their own world. Literally, in their own worlds. Like in cyberspace or in Fantasyland or within a script. When De Niro said F Trump, it was like it was one of the dumb award show. I think maybe it might have been, well, I don't know, the Oscars. I don't think it was the Oscars, something else. Who cares? Hollywood is like nothing anymore. It's like nothing, like meaningless. We barely have sports. Everything that we used to like enjoy that kind of take our minds off of politics, we don't have anymore. And Hollywood is just now an extension of the Democratic Party. So it's like, why? When we can get back to movie theaters, I'm not exactly sure people are going to be flocking to movie theaters. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very, very much. We did a good hour plus. First, like, half hour was like, half hour to 40 minutes was like me just trying to get this working. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being so patient and just wonderful. To Eric H526 and Luke St. Martin, thank you. Mad Cow Mark! I believe those who dish President Trump the loudest have the most to hide. Probably. Potentially, like Comey says, Mad Cow Mark, potentially. It's pretty unbelievable, too, that they talk about every topic from immigration to, temperament. It's like President Obama's administration presided over some real atrocities, and the left were all right with it. They didn't care. There was a Senate panel that I can't even get into regarding the atrocities that took place in terms of immigration. But Mad Cow Mark, thank you very, very much, as always. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. David, thank you. David Von Kettering, thank you. Mad Cow Mark, thank you very, very much. Aussie Woman, thank you. To my Australian crew, Jimbo, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, especially, everyone, thank you so very, very much. Luke St. Martin, as always. Eric H526, Mad Cow Mark, thank you very, very much, Mad Cow Mark, for always watching and for your generosity. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. I'll try to make sure that the beginning of the live stream isn't messed up with computer issues, but I just want to thank you all. It's heating up. I think that we can kind of see everything taking place, kind of, sort of. And we're on our way, ladies and gentlemen, to the biggest political call of all time. I was like 2 years ahead of 2016. I'll be 4 years ahead of this one. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Be here at 9 p.m. Pacific. Mad Cow Mark, I'll see you tomorrow. See everybody here tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. And thank you so very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.